How's it going? This is Stephen Allard, and I'm going to be talking about John Morreall's article titled The Justifiability of Violent Civil Disobedience and Herbert Storing's article titled The Case Against Civil Disobedience. I will provide a brief overview of their arguments and then compare them. Morreall's article I found to be more fascinating. He uses the term prima facie, in which he refers to the man's civil rights. These rights are the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, or on a more abstract level, their right to autonomy, property, and their body. He defends violence when prima facie is violated by using an example of someone coming at you with a knife and you have a loaded gun. You have the right to shoot me now because I have given up my prima facie rights. My right not to be shot by you has been superseded by my attempt to murder you and your corresponding rights to preserve your own life. He relates this to the government. If a law is put up that's immoral, my public disobedience of that law can be justified because my prima facie obligation to obey that law has been superseded by a higher moral obligation. So essentially his thesis is this: when prima facie rights are violated, along with the inability to change the minds of others through perfectly persuaded arguments, is when violent civil disobedience is justifiable. Storing's article is a different approach to civil disobedience. He argues rather that civil disobedience is almost ineffective. He argues that civil disobedience is scarcely capable of being put in a form that is not contradictory, shallow, and a feeble guide to action. He still takes it into consideration, however. His main argument is this: civil disobedience is an unsuccessful attempt to combine, on the level of principle, revolution, and conventional political action. He also disagrees with the idea that there is any higher significance in civil disobedience, such as a moral obligation. Overall, these two thinkers have almost polar opposite beliefs. The one thing that they can probably agree on is the power of persuasion. However, that seems to be where the similarities end. Morreall is trying to justify civil disobedience because if one's prima facie is violated, then there is an appeal to a higher sense of justice or moral obligation. He goes further to say that even violence is justifiable if that is what it takes. Storing, on the other hand, says that essentially there is no higher moral obligation because from what he has seen from most, if not all, civil disobedient movements, even ones such as the Negro Revolution, are incoherent when trying to express the injustice done or its overall ineffectiveness. For the only way to truly change things for Storing is through political involvement. I tend to favor Morreall's side because, just like he mentions in his article, you simply are not able to change the system from within, even through perfectly rational, sound arguments. For it seems the only way to really change things is violent civil disobedience.